messages. What are messages when you feel I've moderated to your channel? Okay, sweet. Hey YouTube, it is me again. I don't do love readings, yeah. And even with the readings that I do, it is very much just to help you what a reading is, to help you get clarity, figure out your next steps and things like that. This reading is not a public something. This one is actually for me. Where did I leave the it's over there. This reading is for me because I'm a stubborn lover, especially when it comes to one particular person in my life. And I've heard everybody say what they have to say about him. My only concern is that what some people have issues with is more like surface level things that isn't really an issue for me. And that's just the level of depth that I operate on anyway when it comes to how I choose my friends, how I choose my work, how I do all of those things. The people that I always go to advice, the people that I go to advice for is my ancestors, my orishas, my guides. And I have consulted them about this a couple of times, but it was more like I feel like I was moaning and wailing that things weren't going how I wanted them to. I've had dreams and such of this person from before I met him, and I guess our connection has always been different to me or special to me. Resonate with that of a twin flame, sometimes of that of a divine union, especially in the understanding that it doesn't mean everything's going to go right. It means that in each moment it gives us the opportunity to learn and grow, whether we're together or separate. There were things within me that were unhealed when we were connecting, and things that have been healing since. And so at each stage that I tap back into, could I still be in a part? Could I still be in this relationship? Sometimes it's a yes and sometimes it's a no. Sometimes it's things I need to work on, sometimes it's him. And so I've chosen 5 decks today. Tarot with keywords, Healing Energy Oracle, Soul Truth, so the self-awareness card deck, Talking Hearts, which is a couple's conversation question deck, and then the Mystical Wisdom card deck. But before I pull any cards, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to light this candle, which was actually a gift from my landlord and his from my landlord and his wife, and it's spiced gingerbread. And then I got this declaration from Shavi Zayn. I'm gonna tag her because I've been watching her for like a year and a bit now, and I think I should let her know that she has people who really resonate with what she does and actually do the rituals that she shares with us. And so this says, I call back or I reclaim my sexual energy and creative energy in spirit and in flesh across all dimensions and timelines, known and unknown. And so that's essentially what I want to do today, especially with this situation where we did connect in that way. And sometimes I'm like, did I just get dick whipped, or was there a reason why the experience was what it was? But yeah, without being like I always see myself, I always think I'm being messy, but I'm not. I'm literally just exploring and doing my inner work, but I'm doing it on live to show other people how this is done. And so the way that I'm kind of going to do it is through my chakra system. I'm going to start with the root chakra, which is all to do with protection, feeling safe, feeling like we have enough, or even feeling like we have enough. And so in that situation, I think I already was insecure about not having enough because of the past and history I come from. When I was 17, I got left at home by myself, and I was emotionally responsible for me, of course, but financially responsible for me. And so when I met this person and I was dating them, I didn't really have it like that. I got evicted out of my uni room and I didn't tell him. I just told him, I ended up telling him I moved to London, but I never told him why or anything like that. So there was already like me hiding those things. And then when I guess But he kind of knew already about the situation because of things that used to happen, like the electric will go out and I couldn't top it up and things like that. But I was by myself and I don't really have any shame about it because that was the adversity that I was able to triumph through. At the time that that was happening, when I was getting kicked out of my uni room and all of these things, I was starting Cultured Ways. And so, like, again, it's just kind of the journey of it. But I think what is unhealed within me now is, am I safe within the relationship? And I just mean that in a general sense, and then I'm going to go from there. Oh no, I did bring the healing oracle. So I'm going to answer that first. In terms of am I safe? And I'm going to pull from the tarot deck, probably the healing energy oracle. I'm probably going to pull from all of them actually, and just see what comes out. So I might do maybe one card from each. That was nice and clear and simple. Or that is not even, it is, and it's upside down. I'm gonna take two just because of how they came out. Fine. I'm gonna take a soul truth, which I can't really hide the question because they're double-sided cards. I hope you guys can hear me as well. I'm gonna try and remember to speak loud because, yeah, I'm just in my own zone right now. Okay, the question that came out while I'm laughing is, am I ready to let go of this buried shame? So yeah, we'll get to answering that in a second. Cool. I'm gonna go for that one, and we will take a Talking Hearts question. And you know what? Oh, there we go. 2 cards came out. Cool. So we'll start with the tarot deck. My question was, am I safe within that relationship or within that connection? And the card that came out is the Moon. And it says, the Moon is telling you that things may not be as they seem. Trust your instincts to see past these illusions. You may be experiencing mood swings, dormant insecurity, or instability. If you're waiting for an answer, then be prepared to wait. Illusion, mystery, dreams, intuition, fear, anxiety, subconscious, and premonitions. And so this kind of helps in terms of, it is flashing up a lot in my intuition in terms of this needs my attention, but I don't know how to, not even how to approach it. I guess I don't know what I'm doing in the situation because I was waiting. Before I did this live, I said to myself, it's like I'm trying to decide what I want to do based on where he is or how he's feeling. And that's not how it should be. I should know at first, like, what is it for me? Where am I in this relationship? Oh my god, the first question, I'm going to take this card as well. The first card on top of this deck says, what boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships, which we're also going to do. But with this, I think I'm prepared to at least face the fact that it might not be what I thought it was. That I might have interpreted my dreams, things that we experienced, things that I said and things that he said differently. I might have been interpreting it based on what I wanted and not based on what it actually was. And there's also other things on the other side of that where there's things both of us has done and it was out of a lack of trust. It was out of fear. And maybe it was me projecting my insecurity. So I really don't know what side of this I'm on. It's either I've been so insecure and just thinking that it's one thing, or that I've been so insecure and hoping that it's a different thing. Anyway, this confusion, it must clear in this reading because I can't go forward like this. from the healing deck, we have trust. I trust my life. I trust life and my strengths. Each moment guides me to the light. Everything on my path is placed there for my growth, and so I'm never gonna forget that all of this has happened for a reason. It's been so bad. I said, goodness. I overcome my imperfections, polish my character, and feed on the positive. Thus, I free myself, allow my goodness to manifest and become a source of joy. Through gentleness, I offer unconditional support, understanding, and love to myself and others. I think that I've been nitpicking at my imperfections because so many people, I've put myself out in the public eye. A lot of people online and offline have a lot to say about me, and I think I was worried about not being good enough in a sense, or feeling like I because of who I've been or things I've done or things like that I can't be gentle with myself or support myself or be understanding, but I have to because I'm the one in this position, and we all actually do deserve that, even if other people aren't giving it to me. So I'm actually really glad that this card came out, and so I'm going to focus on the positives, especially where it comes to about myself, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be honest about what I need to improve on or where I need work. I feel like I'm going to cry already, but it's okay. Am I ready to let go of this buried shame? Yes, because it's very heavy energetically, and I feel like it's influencing my choices and my decisions, and maybe making me procrastinate sometimes, or making me self-sabotage at times as well. The feeling of shame is the lowest energy frequency there is. When you live in shame, you live in darkness. What part of you is ready to stand in the light? Is there any shame from a past experience that is ready to be healed? Heal the shame by giving it a name. Bring it to the light and let it be seen, heard, and healed. It's revival season. Replace the shame with your soul's truth. Fill in the blank. My soul's truth is. I have a lot of shame about Embrace and how it all happened and went down. If I was to give it a name, first I'm going to give it a sentence, and I think the sentence would be, I really wanted to help. And in that, I think I wanted to be the hero. I wanted to help everyone, even though I needed to help myself. I think okay, give me a second. I think I put myself under a lot of pressure to do something, to do the event, to show up for my community. And then I wasn't able to, and I'm very ashamed about that. And I think the shame is failure. And the truth, my soul's truth, is actually progression. My soul's truth is actually intention. And my soul's truth is actually, what's the word for this? I don't know, but it's to do with planting seeds and not knowing what might reap from that harvest, what fruit may grow. I swear down, I just had some seeds. Excuse me. And so that failure actually worked out on a lot of people's behalf. I would say in mine as well, even though there was a lot of stress and stuff after. And so yeah, I'm ready to let go of the shame around what I've done. My focus has been on how people try to portray me and not based on what I was actually doing. Because what they had to say about me was nowhere near to the truth. And I had to accept that people are going to do that sometimes. So yeah, my soul's truth is actually progression and not failure. because I learn from every single failure that I experience. The mystical wisdom card says knowledge, seek knowledge. And so I am learning more. And I realize that as I'm trying to learn more, it's like I'm stubborn. I'm like, no, I don't believe this is right. Or there's a lot of internal conflict for me in terms of being a good person and running a business. And I think that's what got misconstrued in how I did the event in the first place, because I was just trying to be a good person. But at the end of the day, it's the results that deliver. It was the fact that people needed to get paid. So it doesn't matter if I saw the best in them and I wanted them to be able to grow and progress, because I said I was going to pay them, and so they need to get paid. So yeah, definitely learning forward. I'm going to do the other soul truth question that says, what boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships? And it says, to create more healthy boundaries, we must first get in tune with our own needs, desires, and feelings, and believe we are worthy of them. In your relationships, it's essential to know where they end and where you begin. When we separate our energy from others, we gain clarity about what we really want. Then we stop doing things that no longer align with ourselves. If you're an empath, you can still be compassionate towards others without taking on their stuff. It is safe to trust that you are not here to fix anyone. I have everything I need within me now, and so do they. I am worthy of my needs, and I set boundaries based on what's best for me. And I think because there's a lot that I have learned, a lot of work that I've been able to do on myself. Someone said, who the heck is that behind you? This was I'm an artist, but I don't do portraits. I tried to paint myself. It didn't go that well. I couldn't even mix the right color of brown. So it's like a pop art. I don't think, sorry, I just saw that comment. When I say, oh please, that is so funny. Okay, cool. He didn't even say, what is that behind you? They said, who is that? Okay, what I was trying to say is, because there's a lot I know, and a lot that I'm learning currently, and so when people bring stuff to me, or even if I see something, I want to help. And sometimes I can be trying to help people who actually don't want help. They're happy to just keep on complaining about it. And then also, I feel sometimes I take it all on like I should do everything for that person then. And I can't do that, because that's how I put someone else's things before my own, put me on the back burner, and all of these things. And so it is really that thing of, I don't need to climb into the hole to help someone get out. I might just have to share with them, hey, by the way, if you pick up the thing that's next to you and stick it in the wall, you might be able to climb out of there, and things like that. Hey everyone that's saying hi, hey, I'm just like really in the middle of this right now. And so, excuse me, the Talking Hearts questions that have come up is there a personality trait that always annoys you in other people? Yes. It is. It's not even ego, because when I say that, we all have ego. Me, I have my own ego, and today I was stroking because of the Black Women's Summit that I'm a part of. I think it's when people try to come in with a hidden intention and you expose it, and you now become a problem. So it happened to me the other day. Oh, thank you. This was like supposed to be for my Halloween look, and then I cancelled my show. But it's still October, so yeah. But the other day, some guy was chatting to me. He's messaged me and he said, oh, send me your music, I want to learn you. And I said no. And he's like, oh, I was being so nice to you, I'm just going to stop being nice to you then. And I said, I'm not being fun. Oh, and I sent you my music. I said, I didn't ask you to send me your music. You sent it to me and asked for my feedback, which I gave to you. Also, you're very entitled. You didn't ask me, you told me. And so, in that, I'm like, why do you feel so entitled to me? Or to get to know me? And he's like, you're so ugly. I would never even want to get to know you in the first place. And I'm like, bro, you literally just asked to learn me. So why? Like when people feel entitled, that's what it is. When people feel entitled, it makes me feel really horrible. And so when I do things like that, it gets on my nerves as well. The other day I went to my dad's house and there was rice and stew in the fridge. And I haven't had that stew in ages. Me and my family, we don't really talk anymore. So I don't get to eat like my grandma's food and things like that. So I remember I took like the tiniest bit of rice. And even when I did it, I was like, Ebony, you didn't even ask him. Like, and when I told him, I just felt bad. I just felt really bad about it because I have no right to be entitled whether I'm his daughter or not. Like, still give someone the opportunity to give you permission. Thank you. You're the second person to say that you like my hair. Thanks. If I could pamper you for a day, what would you want me to do? It's so funny that these are relationship questions, but I'm asking myself. If I could pamper you for a day, what would you want me to do? I think a full body massage is what I need right now. So I'm gonna do that as best as I can to myself, because again, I'm a single Pringle. But that is the question. That is the answer to that. And then this card says, "What was one of the first times you felt comfortable being vulnerable with me?" And so going back to why I did this live in the first place and trying to get clarity about this situation, ship, thing, connection, da 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 da. What was the first time that I felt comfortable being vulnerable with him? I thought it would be easier to answer this because to me in my head I thought I was so open, but maybe I wasn't. Maybe it was there was a day I think he stayed over and I was getting ready for work or something. And I don't remember what he called me, maybe his wife or something. And I was like, yeah, okay. And he was like, why are you behaving like that? And I was like, because I've never had an actual boyfriend before. Like, I've been with people, but no one's actually asked me to be their girlfriend. Like, one guy once, but that was 4 days after I met him. And it was just weird. But anyway, and then I kind of cheated on him that very same day because I said yes to people please, went out to a party and had fun. And obviously I don't feel good about that. But it was that thing of like I wouldn't be true to myself. I would say what that person wanted to hear and go and do my own thing. So I was very much comic before. But that day, when I told him that I'd never had a boyfriend before, that was a very vulnerable moment for me. Because it's like, yeah, I am the girl that is more used for casual relationships as opposed to like serious things. People don't really, it's not even that they don't look at me seriously. It's just that we never even, they see my body and that's it. They don't even take a second to stop and see, this girl's actually mad smart. She's actually very funny. She's actually really responsible. She's unique. She's this, she's that. So I would say that was the first time. But after that, he had said, don't worry, I'm going to be your first boyfriend. And I was like, okay. And I think I believed him. Yeah, and it wasn't true. So, when you were younger, what did you save your money to buy? I didn't really get any money. When I did. When I got money on my dad's side, it went to my dad. And maybe like he would hold it for us until we go somewhere. And then we was allowed to spend it there. We weren't really given the options of what do you want to buy with your money. And then on my mum's side, excuse me, sorry, same thing really. I don't really remember being given money or like when I did get pocket money, I would just buy sweets and stuff. I never really saved to buy anything, but that wasn't, I didn't even know that I could do that, if I'm being honest. So, yeah. I'm very hyper aware of how like maybe different, my experience is not that different to everyone's, but there are a lot of things that people would find weird or that don't fit the norm of people's experience growing up. Like the thing of my dad taking the money that our parents, that people would give to us And it was because, like, that's how my dad was anyway. When my dad needed to buy mattresses for us, he called my mum as if my mum gave birth to the other children in the house and she didn't have to buy my mattress in our house. Like, yeah, money was just not wasn't a thing like that. But yeah, and no one really spoke to me about it anyway, so I didn't know about saving and stuff until it was too late and I realised, hey, I don't have any kind of security or savings under my feet. And even then I didn't start saving because I kept on saying when I have enough, when I make enough, and then I haven't got into that position yet. So, but I'm realising now I can start from where I am. So what excuses am I making right now? That I don't have enough, or that it's not time yet, or that all of these things. And it's like, no, do what you can right now and that will set into motion the next thing. So no more waiting. There will never be a good enough time. The time is now. If it's important enough to you, you'll find a way. Today, make a decision and do it, even if you don't feel ready. Listen to your heart and you will be led. And I'm glad that I pulled this card right now because, in all honesty, and normally I don't like talking about this because some people know who this person is and I just don't care anymore. I started doing music. I actually started doing music because, okay, I used to write songs anyway, but I never used to share it with anyone. And then he made me really upset. He kept making me upset by not communicating, and I didn't know how to communicate that. I didn't know how to communicate that, so I wrote a song, and I showed it. I didn't even show him the one that that said I was upset with him. I showed him a different song, and he was like, "You're actually really good at this, and you should do it." And I did it on telling myself, like, this is for us, sort of thing, in terms of us building a forward movement. And so over time, I think it's not even that I believe I need him to do it, because I know that the talent and the gift and all of that stuff exists within myself. But I wanted him to be there. I wanted us to share that together. And that is the excuse of why I haven't released any music yet. Because this situation is not resolved. I don't know if there is a future for us or anything like that. And so I'm like, I will look at music after. I will look at music after. I will look at music after. And I can't keep on moving like that because, again, I'm just delaying my own joy. I love doing music. I love performing. I love this and I love that. So I'm actually going to do the show. I have a show coming up in December, which I'm going to confirm tomorrow. So you guys look out for that. And I'm going to do it for me this time. Oh, why am I crying internally? I'm like, no, we're going to do it for us. Do it for us. But there is no us right now. And it's not just, it's both of our fault. More his than mine, but wait, it's okay. It's still a two-way thing, so it doesn't matter if, like, his was 3 times what I done or whatever. It's still, yeah, I don't know, Ebony. I think I'm taking responsibility for stuff that's not my responsibility, and so I'm gonna stop. My second question was actually about feelings, which again was why I started making music in the first place, in terms of how I felt about him and expressing that and being able to express those feelings, because it was really awkward for me. I'm not used to telling people, you know, I actually really like you. Like, I actually think you're really cool. And things like that. And then even saying things that I don't like as well. Music has been my way of, like, strengthening my voice, strengthening my throat chakra and saying, oh, I can speak up and I deserve to speak up. The question over there in front of me, it says that I'm afraid to be seen. And I think I'm going to have to pick that up in a second. And I'm going to pick this up because it just flicked over. And I need to put my phone on charge. So if you give me 1 second, I'm going to pause this, or at least attempt to. And I will be right back. How do I pause it? Okay, 1 sec. Hey, sorry about that. I had to go and get my charger. I'm gonna go through the next couple of cards. And so we have 3 of Wands, Your plans are in motion and more opportunities are headed your way to maximize your total potential. You have the chance to expand your horizons through travel, study, or business. Reach beyond your comfort zone. Doors will open if you stop limiting yourself. And so, that whole thing of me like not taking steps forward because I don't know what's happening in that area of my life was kind of silly. My work is completely separate to my relationship, but not really though, because of how I do everything holistically. I started my business for me, but also for the family that I wanted to have in the future. And so meeting him and seeing certain things that exist within me, within him, gave me that motivation to go forward. Why? I was about to say, why am I making it about him? But this reading is about him and my energy in relation to him. So I am going to keep on moving forward and keep on working hard and doing my thing, because I'm actually doing my thing right now, you know. It says preparation, progress, foresight, enterprise, activity, expansion, overseas opportunities, and moving forward. And this is always the vision that I had of us, like, doing that together, you know, like JMB. I've spoken to people before. I have a neighbor. Well, I had a neighbor when I was still living in London, and he lives in my area. He tried to move to me one time. I told him I'm in a relationship. He said, so nobody's loyal these days. I said, okay, still in a relationship, step over that. Then he tried to tell me, having me seen Power, and I said, why are you referencing a TV series to me about loyalty and relationships? And why are you basing your life as if you're Go St. Patrick? Like, babe, where's the club that you own and that you run? Anyway, cool. Oh, and I was speaking to him, and he basically said that, what did he call me? A yamed. He said I'm a yamed because of how I feel about this guy. And he was like, oh, you're speaking like it's some Jay-Z and Beyonce thing. And I said, maybe it is. Like, that's just how I want to build and grow with someone, and have that loyalty that exists, where not that you can mess me over and I'll always be there, but there's room for each of us to make mistakes, and if we're willing to progress and grow together through it, then I know that it strengthens our bond. And I think that's why I still choose to work on that. Like, I was speaking to this guy called Vince the other day, and through speaking about my business, he was noticing that I look at what I've done, and I will go through each individual thing and pull out, okay, this didn't really work and that doesn't really work. So how can we streamline this so that next time it works better? And I said, oh my gosh, that's what I've been doing in our relationship. In every disagreement, in every separation, even in the time that we haven't spoken and why we're not speaking and all of those things, I'm just looking at how can we make sure that it doesn't happen like this again. So if we do have a disagreement, we don't have to go months without speaking for ages. We can just address it in a way that's comfortable for both of us. And yeah, but I'm going to keep on applying that to my work anyway, because that's where I can see it actually benefiting me. The next card that came out says Nine of Cups. You've struggled with finding purpose and comfort after a loss. This journey has been long and arduous, but you finally reached a point where you're feeling joy again. Profound happiness is in your future. Now is a great time to chase any dreams you've had. And that's the fact. And so I don't know if all these emotions for him are coming up, because when we separated, it hit me very, very, very hard. For multiple reasons. There was other things involved that hit me as well. Like, everything was just falling down, from the relationship to people around us that I thought was in support of our relationship, who all of a sudden hated my guts, to like the engage, like, yeah, I brought them into a lot of things, and so that made me uncomfortable, and it made me sad for a very long time, which is actually why I painted this, because it's called I Was Sad. If people was wondering over the years, why is Ebony so like that, they just expected me to have more energy, be happy, like it's actually good news. I was sad internally, and even though there was all this colourful stuff happening around me, life growing, seeds blooming, I was just sad. And now I'm not that sad anymore, so I am actually going to give myself permission to be happy and to keep on working on the things that are bringing me that happiness. Honestly, the work I'm doing is really, it's fulfilling for me, and so I'm grateful. The next card says, oh my gosh, guys, there's two goodness cards in the deck, but they're both different. That is madness. So the second goodness card says, I refine my character and overcome difficulties by remaining positive. I calm my heart and illuminate my intellect to transform shadow into light. I consciously manifest goodness in and around me. I improve my qualities for the benefit of all. And that is the fact of like, I can recognize that me not looking at certain things in my character made me bump heads with a lot of people that I did not need to bump heads with. And so looking within myself at where those character flaws were coming from, they did stem from insecurity. They did stem from, it's like I have this defensive guard of everyone left me alone and I had to look after myself. And so why I didn't expect that anybody would want to offer me any kind of help or support, if that makes sense. So now that it's here in multiple different ways, I recognize that I need to change so that I can actually receive it. And that's the positivity and the goodness that I'm also going to channel in, as well as the other goodness card that came out about being gentle and offering unconditional support and understanding and love to myself first and then others. The next card says elevation. I free myself from fear and trust the universe. I direct my thoughts to the beauty inside and around me. I use my spiritual strengths and knowledge to create light, and I rise above all doubt. So, it's definitely that thing of I was telling myself negative things. And I know now that they were a projection of people who was around me. Like one of the producers I was working with would be so supportive and da-da-da-da. All of it. Then, there was little like sneak disses here and there. When I finally said to him, I'm not working with you, delete all the stuff. All of a sudden, I can't sing, I can't perform. I'm only a little bit good at rapping. I'm never going to make it in music unless I'm a ghostwriter because I don't know how to deal with people. But the truth is, he's a manipulator. And he admitted that. He said in front of me to his friend, his long-term friend, that he's manipulating an old woman. And so, I'm going to allow myself to dust off whatever he tried to make me feel about myself, because people who are manipulative like that, they need you to need them. And so if he thought he was going to break me down so much that it's like, oh, I'm actually not good. Oh, please help me. Please, I need you. I don't. It's very much okay. The same thing that he said to me that I can't sing. The next day, someone called me and said, hey, we want to book you for a show. You have such an amazing voice. So yeah, I'm just going to allow myself to elevate and not get into the back and forth of how dare you say that to me, because yeah, it's just not needed in this space. And so all that doubt that I had of if I would be good enough, I am. And I am because I show up. I am because practice makes perfect. I am because I am consistent. And so yeah, no one can take that away from me. The next card says Page of Cups. Listen to your heart and go with all things sentimental and romantic. Share those tender moments with someone special. Feel free to express your feelings. Dance like no one's watching and be a giant goof. Have fun and be wild, Moonchild. Creative opportunities, news, messages, information, curiosity, possibility, happy surprise, dreamer, sensitivity, and new love. And this is where I am right now, where I've been feeling the need to just break free and dance. So I'm literally going to move the table all the way over there and just create my own dance floor right now. But the other side of it, in terms of sharing tender moments with someone special and being sentimental and romantic, I can definitely romanticize my life right now, easy. That special person that I would want to share those moments with is him. So I'm like, how can I do that? Is it even safe to do that? Can I? Actually, what we're gonna do is get the, oh yeah, I forgot about my wine. my red wine. Cool. What I'm gonna do is I have this, I don't even remember what this deck is called, but it basically helps you to make decisions with directive answers. So there's like yes, no, unlikely, get more information, things like that. So can I share sentimental and romantic moments with the person that I'm thinking about? Let's see what you call it says let go, so probably not. Okay. Should I open up to dating? Because I haven't. I didn't want to at first. I don't know if I want to now, if I'm just like, okay, I'll try and date someone new. Try and see myself as someone other than him. But you know what? The other day I was watching some video of Michelle Williams, and she was Michelle, I think that's her name. Michelle from Destiny's Child, and she was saying Beyonce, when she has a dream about something, she knows that dream is what is gonna come into life, because that's what she's gonna bring in. So she's gonna tell you what she needs, and if you're on her team, you better get that. And so because I've had certain dreams with this person, like I've had dreams that have already come to pass, and there's some that haven't, and so I'm like, I don't feel like it's the end of our story, but if the cards are telling me to let go, then I will let go. And I asked if I should be open to dating someone else, and it says listen to your intuition. And what does my intuition say? My intuition says that it's time, because he is kind of like the people that I've already dated in the past. And as much as I didn't want to admit that to myself, maybe because I think that's offensive to him, because the people I used to date are not it at all. So maybe he's just not it. And I have friends who are like, Ebony, that guy is nothing. Why are you so... And I'm like, don't say that. Anybody's nothing. Everybody's life means something, and all of these crazy things. So I guess that's it. Listen to my intuition in terms of dating. Definitely, because some of the people who are interested in me, honestly, don't even stand it. Don't even look at me. Don't look here. Because you're not even looking seriously. You're just looking at the bum that you see, or the business that you see online, or all of these things that are not actually thing. You're going in the right direction. Thanks. I can't do shallow connections, and so I think that's what I'm upset about, where I thought there was a depth between us because of the moments that we shared, the conversations that we shared, and maybe how I showed up for him. And then he kind of thinks he showed up for me. Yeah, I don't know. That guy's a bit of a psychopath, I'll be honest. But I still got mad love and respect for him. It's mad. I don't know why. I think it's something relating to my relationship with my father. What have you learned about yourself recently that I am seriously, like, I'm a... Ride or die does not even qualify for what kind of love that I put into this relationship. I think it is that I'm stubborn. Like, seriously stubborn. Like, many people have given me warnings about this relationship. I've been listening to readings, I've been praying, I've been doing all of that stuff, and it's like, I always have an answer. There's some people who want to date me, and so when they're giving me advice about whatever situation I say that I'm in, it's like I'm still not listening to you because you have an agenda. When it comes to my friends and giving me advice, I'm like, I'm not really listening to you because you're not in the position that I want to be in terms of, I don't know that you want to be in a long-term relationship anyway, and even if you do, I don't know that you're going into it for the right reasons, or like the way in which you assess people is different to me, because again, a lot of women will look at a man and say, oh, he can provide, he can listen, he can that. And it's not that I don't want my man to provide. That is not what I'm saying at all. Universe, just in case you're listening right now. Of course I do. But that's not the basis of who I want him to be. A provider is not a personality trait. Like, it's not, it doesn't, I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say. But the fact that you can put a roof over my head and food in my tummy and clothes on my back doesn't guarantee that we can be together for a long time, that we can have a joyful connection and actually be in love. And so, yeah, I don't really listen when a lot of people are trying to talk to me about how I'm looking at things. Because they will say, Ebony, no, you deserve better than that. And when I say, what is better? Nobody has anything to say. No one has anything to say. And I'm like, oh, well, you lost me there. So I think what I learned about myself is that I'm very stubborn. And then the other side of the card says, how did you try impress me? Okay, cool. How did you try to impress me in the beginning of our relationship? How did I try and impress him in the beginning of our relationship? Actually, no, I wasn't doing that to impress him. I was doing that to not enter any problems. But maybe, actually, I'm going to give 2 examples of this then. One would be, imagine when I first met this guy, I saw him first and I told my friend, that's the sexiest man I've ever seen. And my friend was like, oh, shut up, man. Obviously, he's a guy, so he didn't really care. The next day, I saw him again at a party and I went up to him and I said, I really like your face. Then we had like a short chat or something. And that was that. A couple days later, I get a phone call from him. No. I saw him once more after that when everyone ended up on my road. A couple days later, I get a phone call from him. I have missed calls from him and I'm at work. So I've gone to call him back. And he's like, oh, I'm with my ex. And it's going to be like the biggest red flag, but I don't care. Like what anyone thinks of that anyway. Because again, I dated him after this happened. So he's like, oh, I'm with my ex right now. Did I kiss you? And I'm like, no. Said, did I fuck you? And sorry, did I have sex with you? And I'm like, no. He's like, did I touch you? And I said, no. He didn't touch me per se, but when we were speaking at the back of the party, he had his hand like around my waist. I'm like, yeah, you did, but I didn't say anything cool. So I think in that sense, I subconsciously was trying to please him. On one side, it was to keep my own peace, and on the other side, it was like, this girl's cool, maybe. I didn't obviously think of it like that then, but now that I'm looking back, probably. And then, how else did I try and impress him in the beginning of our relationship? I think it was with just like the fact that I was busy and I was doing my own thing. Like, I already knew I'm mad independent. I just started my first business. I was working in a Nigerian restaurant. Like, I was juggling jobs. I think I was working at the hotel, the Nigerian restaurant, I was at uni, and I had my way speak business. And so all of those things was like, yeah, like, can't you see? Can't you see what kind of babe I am? These cards are just all falling out of my hand, you know? Yeah, so I think that's how I tried to impress him. But yeah. Which is why now I'm like, I don't want someone who wants me for what I can do. I don't know if I need someone who matches. I think I do need someone who matches me per se. I do, Ebony. What do you mean? Otherwise, they're just not gonna understand. Like, they just won't get it at all. In terms of how dedicated I can be to my cause and things like that, and how much I can work sometimes. And my relationship will have to be on the back burner if I'm preparing for something. And so if you're not in that same mindset of being able to prioritize different things at different times, then it's not gonna work. So yeah. What makes you feel nervous no matter how many times you do it? Performing. Performing, I said every time before I get on stage I still get stage fright. But I was saying to Vince, I want to introduce like rituals for me so that I know, okay, I have a performance, so I'm gonna get scared. This is what I do to manage that fear so that I can continue to show up in that. And so that's why the relationship was very important to me, because he gave me, after he told me to do music, 4 months later I got back on stage. 4 months, 5 months later. No, it wasn't 5, it was March, April. 7 months later, I got back on stage. And from there, I've done like 40, that was 2.5 years ago, basically. And I've done like almost 45 performances since then. So he was a huge like help in, I guess, my confidence. But without, I don't know, I just believed him when he said that I was good. And maybe it was an insecure thing. Maybe if I already had belief in myself, it would have just felt like flattery. I don't know if he meant it now or if he was just trying to flatter me. I can't tell. What's something you're willing to splurge on? Ooh, these money questions are so hard for me. Maybe a holiday. Like traveling is definitely something I'm willing to splurge on because I want to see the world. I think when it comes to my clothes and stuff, I love fashion, but I also love thrifting, especially because you can get a lot of like unique pieces, things that they don't make anymore, quality pieces for much cheaper. So that's not really a splurging thing. So I'd say travel, and I think the other answer will be jewelry, and I haven't had the luxury of doing that yet, but definitely as I'm going forward, you guys are gonna see me, don't worry. But yeah, travel and jewelry. I'm gonna pull another mystical wisdom card, and then I think my next question was about trust and confidence. So I know that relationship had a huge impact on my trust because there was a lot of things that he didn't say. And so the things that he did say, I don't trust them anymore because of what wasn't said and because of what other people said, who were people close to him. So I'm like, are they speaking from an informed space or are they speaking from their own agenda? So I think my question is actually, can I trust? What I'm gonna do is I just pulled a mystical wisdom. So it says it says money, find a way to abundance, which I'm doing. I feel like this reading, I'm trying to explore why I still feel like I should be in that connection. And spirit is just like, no babe, your business, no babe, your business, no babe, your business. So yeah, I'm gonna pull for can I trust him? Which I'm expecting the answer to be no, but I'm going to release my expectation and allow spirit to give me the answer that is the truth. And then, yeah, that might be the end of the reading. If it's a no, it's going to be the end of the reading because once I can't trust you, then we've got no future at all. But if I pull something different, then it might be a different, it might be a little bit different. Okay, cool. Ebony. Yes. It says that I can trust him. Okay. Okay. So maybe it was just about letting go of the past. So when I pulled the card that said to let go, was it about our past together? Not the right time. Okay. I see. I know what to do now. And this is how we get clarity, ladies and gentlemen. It's not that there's a question mark in it anymore, which thank goodness, because I can't deal with confusion. But it's like there's a pin in it, and that's okay because there is a lot of stuff to focus on right now. So I'm gonna close this reading down. Thank you guys for being here with me. Thank you to everyone who said hello and I was too busy chatting off to even say hello back. Thank you to everyone who said that they love my hair, and I will see you guys very, very, very soon.